Hi, it's Robin Cooper with Equip 222, here to talk with you about, as a class leader, how you might accommodate learning differences. You will have students of different ages in your classes, and we have made every effort to group children according to their skill level or age, depending on the class. So something you want to do is scale your expectations for each child. You're teaching individuals, not classrooms. You're teaching single humans, not a herd or a flock. And you're teaching people, not curriculum. We all have things that we excel in and things where we struggle. So you are going to provide helps, tools, and tell the parents even how they can scale the work at home. Speaking broadly, children learn in three ways. They're auditory, means they learn through hearing things. They're visual, that means they learn through seeing things. Or they're kinesthetic, they might learn through moving their bodies or moving things around on paper or building something. We have chosen curricula that accommodate learning differences and styles, but in some classes, the class might lean towards a particular teaching style, which may not match your learner's style. So there are things that you can do to help. For example, you can teach to your classroom's learning style. You can use visuals, tactiles, movement, and song. Let me share some examples. You could create PowerPoints. You can draw pictures so that children can see the content. You can use charts and graphs, a whiteboard, symbols, real life stories, real life context of relationships. You can use slideshows and videos. Younger children need both very visual and often they also need very kinesthetic teaching. You can use color coding. You can put less on the screen, like declutter what they need to focus in on. You can use jingles and songs, and you can allow students to move or stand while they're learning. When I'm talking about that, I also am reminded of brain breaks. So when I teach, oftentimes if I'm in a transition, I'll send the children out to go run real quick and then come back to me. Second big bucket is you can teach by commanding interaction and teach immersively. So what do I mean by interaction, writing, and answering? I will give you some examples here. You can give students time to read out loud. You can have the children work in groups. Be careful about that because sometimes some children will let other children lead and direct the whole project, or some children might be feeling stifled by more advanced learners in a group. You can use acting or drama. You can use costumes and be animated in your teaching. For example, you can sing, you can dance, you can be loud, you can use energy in the classroom to make it fun. You can encourage the use of arts and crafts, do experiments, encourage trial and error. You can have children teach the parents sometimes. You can have older children write very important materials down in a notebook, and you can have them build their own reference guide and document what they're learning over time. This really does help kinesthetic learners and visual learners. It also helps children just work things out in their mind. And you can ask children to hold a two-way dialogue where it's possible. Call on children and ask them what they think. Okay, here's the next big bucket. So far I've taught you that you can teach to the learning styles of your students, to teach by commanding interaction and teach immersively. But now I'm going to say you should adjust your pace, your level of help or assistance, and even the quantity of work that you demand from the students. You can help parents by guiding them to podcasts, videos, recordings, worksheets, or other tools and resources at home to supplement what you've done in the classroom. You can invite parents to record your teaching. You can allow frequent short breaks for the students. Children also, they can be very frustrated by writing. You can have a parent write for them. If you're not teaching handwriting, don't worry that the child is not writing. If you're teaching handwriting and the child asks for dots to trace the letters or the numbers, that is okay. I want you to remove the non-central barriers to learning for them. Fourth, you can scale and leverage homework. Bend the rules where you can to meet a child's ability. For advanced learners, give them the harder questions in class. Give simpler questions to beginners or those who might have shown you that they struggle. In other words, set the children up for success in class. Make the questions you ask in class challenging, but also doable for them. Tell parents how they can scale with discrete or specific examples. Can the child solve less problems for homework, for example? Can the child write fewer paragraphs? If the child is an advanced learner, can the parent add more scaffolding of the requirements at home? And then lastly, I want you to consult with parents. I actually want you to get advice from individual students' parents. If you decide with the parent, you might both decide together that you wanted advice from another adult outside of the two of you for help to how you're going to help form these brilliant minds and how you're going to help them learn.